And here we are again. Looking like it's gonna be a pretty nice day as long as the damn wind doesn't pick up. It's actually, I mean, they're saying it's supposed to be 50, I think today's supposed to be a high of 54, 53 or 54, but when the sun's out and it's not breezy, it doesn't feel that bad. I mean, I got a coat on right now because I was road running, but when I was at the house, I probably could have just been in a sweatshirt and been fine. I think we avoided the frost again last night, or well, this morning. I think it definitely got cold enough last night to freeze because I finally moved that little John Deere compact tractor that Dad's supposed to work on this morning so that I could actually get the planer down by the barn so that I could put the sheet on the wagon without having to do a bunch of walking. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there was water laying in the seat and the water had froze. But I checked my backyard this morning, and I checked when I got to Mom and Dad's, and I couldn't see any signs of frost on the ground. It dewed real heavy again. It was these last couple nights we've had dews that felt more like small, or that looked more like a small rain. It was heavy. But I'd rather have a heavy dew than a heavy frost. Good there. Sometimes doing this shit one-handed gets to be a real chore. But here's something else I was going to talk about. I can't remember now what the hell it was. Oh yeah, I got to walk back over to the planer here for a minute and show you. Yeah. So, remember how I said you always break shit on a Sunday? Well, I was this close last Sunday to breaking shit. It was this side. This marker arm cable right here at the edge of the crimp had been bending, and it had 5/16 cable on it, which was a 3-spool cable, and 2 of the 3 spools had, or a 3-rope cable, and 2 of the 3 ropes had broken. It was hanging on by 1. So I this close to breaking something on a Sunday, but she got me through. But it's always been this cable. That is I broke the original set, which ain't saying much. The original set broke because it was rusty. I broke the original set, put a new set on it, broke that set, put this last set on it. That set broke, so this is a new set. This time I went up to a 1/4-inch cable because everything, the pulleys and everything, are big enough to accommodate 1/4. And this time, when I made the last 2 sets, I crimped the end on the cable just like they did. They just did a full crimp all the way up to the edge of the cable end. And this time I put a bell on the end of it and just crimped that much so that the cable can't make a hard bend right there. It's got a little bit of room to flex. So hopefully that solves that problem. But you can't get You can get ends like this, but they're not as deep. They don't, we checked, there's a local place here that specializes in making wire ropes and tow straps and all that fancy shit. That's their thing, is they make that. They make stuff for cranes and hoists and tow cables and all that fancy crap, tie down cables. But they checked every supplier they had, and they cannot get ends with this pin center anymore. You can get them to where the pin is back here, but that don't work. So luckily these original ones are steel, and I just lobbed the end off, crimped the cable on, or crimped the end on the cable, and then welded it all together, and that works. So, but we're good now. And the other thing I'm doing different, because I'm wondering what's causing part of the problem, is I used to lay these up on top of the cable. Well, now I'm going to put them down like that and see if that helps any. So yeah, but anyway, probably ought to get loaded up and get after it. And since I'm thinking about it, it never fails that at least once on every video I get somebody asking me what the black shit is that I put on the seed. It's graphite. That's a seed lubricant. It just helps. It helps the seed flow through the grow unit and keeps it from bridging inside the box. Technically you don't need to use seed lubricant anymore, because, well, at least at work, when we're treating the seed we treat at work, we have a product called 007, which we used to run talc, but now we got this shit called 007, which I personally don't like, because the shit's sticky and it's not water soluble, so it doesn't stick to the seed very well. And then you get seed that looks like this, which is only partially covered. But most seed now is treated with a seed lubricant applied right to the treatment coating. However, it's not that great, so you still should run a seed lubricant. Graphite on finger pickup or plate planters, or basically anything not air. Most modern air planters now want you to use talc, because it's finer and it's not as hard on the plates and stuff. Because plastic metering plates or seed belts or anything like that, you don't want to use graphite, because it's a lubricant, but it's also slightly abrasive, because it's basically ground up rock. Talc is obviously ground up rock too, but talc is really, really soft, so it's not nearly as abrasive. But you just sprinkle a little bit on. I'm actually gonna have to get some more of this before I'll have enough to get me through the day, but I'll probably be out by the time I go plant the muck. That's all I got left. But I've also always had guys say, well, you need to stick your hand in there and mix it up with the seed. And you make one round around the field, and the way these row units bounce, the seed's all covered by the time you make one round anyway, and then your hand's not all green and black from mixing that treatment. So it just works out like that. But anyway, time to get after it. Well, that sucks. Dad's coming to get me so I can take care of that. Well, we got the marker arm cables figured out. Just took them back, and luckily that end slid back. I had to tap it with a hammer, but it slid right back on. So apparently I had just crimped them enough to get them to touch the cable. So took them home and just ran them home until I was starting to displace metal out of the crimp sleeve, and they're tight now. I got all my end rows blocked in. I'm working on my long rows now. It sucks because anybody that was with me last fall knows that this place sold and they resurveyed the property, and I lost like 20 feet because the property line came this way, which sucks because the short row, or the those long rows used to go back behind the house. It used to be a perfectly even 16 rows across, so I could make 4 down and 4 back and have 16 rows there dead nuts even. And now it's not. I got 2 stragglers down there that I'm overlapping. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So now that I got it all worked, it's gonna go pretty quick, and then I gotta go get the little 1 acre patch across the creek, but only lost about 30 minutes, so no big deal. Should have plenty of time to get done today. Well, this field's done. No further incident. I'm all packed up, ready to rock and roll, so I'm gonna swing by the house real quick. I'm probably gonna head down and get that field down, or that little field down in Indiana knocked out. That way, if I do get close to dark, I don't have a bunch of road running to do. I'm right next to the house, so. Anyway, yeah, get on down the road. And there's another field done. Uneventful, nothing new to report other than, my God, the rocks. So many rocks. It's probably been, oh shit, at least 4 years since I've been down here to do any rock picking. I think it's about time again. Because, my God, the rocks. They're everywhere. Like river rock, like I just walked over one, like rocks like this. Like rocks this size. Everywhere. It's like this field grows rocks. Because I've came down here before and filled the barge wagon twice. And they're back. This field grows rocks, I swear to God. Or my seed's contaminated and it's got rock seed in it. You never know. But anyway, on to the next one. Alright, here we are at the big one. Well, big for my standards. I already got the outside rounds all done, so now I'm into the long rows. All I gotta do is get to the point where I can work in around this here wet spot that the trees are growing in, and then I'll be home free. It'll be easy from there. But I'm just gonna work up from the fence line to here. I'll work these rows in this way and then go back in that way, and then I'll put my 4 end rows on the other side to run my long rows into. But nice, mostly square field. Has to have a spring that bubbles up right there. Damn it. With that, all I got left for corn is the muck. So of course that's another 21 acres, but still that's all down in one spot. So all the moving all over the place is done with. Took me well, by the time I set the planter in the ground the first time, it was about 3:15, and now it's about 6:30. But I probably lost about a half hour because I plugged the damn fertilizer auger twice. I ain't had that happen since the very first time I used it, and it was all full of rust. But I'm thinking the hydraulic motor's getting a little weak. It was not in that good a shape when I rebuilt it. The output shaft was all laid up with fertilizer, and I put a new shaft seal in it, but the shaft was so bad that it still weeps oil a little bit, and I'm wondering if that motor's just getting tired. So, but hell, them gerotor hydraulic motor style hydraulic motors are dirt cheap, so probably buy a new motor for it, and maybe probably get one with a little bit bigger displacement so I got a little more ass behind it, since that isn't really I think that only makes 1800 psi if I remember right, and that's if it's got the shims in it to get it up to the updated spec, because I think they started off at 15, and then I think when they went to the 50 series they hopped it up to 18, and when they hopped it up to 1800 psi they offered the shim kit to get the double aughts up to the 1800 psi, if I remember right. Don't quote me on that, because I know my 1600's got the updated shim kit in it, and I know it's putting out the higher pressure, and I'm pretty sure it's 1800, pretty sure. But anyway, it still works for now. It's not like I have to get a new motor on it before I finish it. I just got to be careful how fast I feed it. I can't just open the gate and let her eat, but that'll be on the project for I might try to get it done before fall, so it's on there for running wheat, so I'm not soaking my wheat in hydraulic oil. Might not be a bad idea. But anyhow, I got just enough daylight left. I got to get that and that back over to the barn on the highway, get those put away, get back. I want to fuel the white up before I take it back over, and I'll get it back over in the shed tonight before it rains, because as you can tell, it got a little cloudy. Our storm fronts, or our weather front, is rolling in, so I think it's supposed to, I think they pushed the rain up. It's supposed to start tonight, I think. But looks like today or tomorrow and Monday, Monday and Tuesday, I think, are kind of our last hoorah in the 50s, and then it's a steady climb up after that. I think as of right now they don't have any rain forecasted other than tomorrow. I think the 7-day is clear. I think it's actually clear through next week and into the following week before we have another chance of rain. So just have to play it by ear, see where we are weather-wise, how much rain we get tomorrow, or rain we get between tonight and tomorrow, and might try taking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off and start hammering in beans, and possibly get the muck in next weekend, because the guys that farm all the other ground around there, they got like 800 or 900 acres down there. They're already down there planting, so, and they've been farming that for like 40 or 50 years, so if they're down there planting, chances are I should be down there planting, because when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So, and while I was out here, while I was planting this, I got a phone call. Might have a lead on another hunk of ground, so more news on that to follow. But anyway, I better get scooting so I can get everything back over the barn before it gets dark. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.